Alright, welcome to Roguelike Generator, a how-to video tutorial. So first of all, if you don't know what this engine, what this system is about, well, you're in luck. Let's go over it. Starting off from the gym, you get to see content examples. This project is a collection of assets and systems that together create a method to procedurally generate a 2D roguelike dungeon in Unreal Engine. This is not limited to 2D. If you know what you're doing, you can make it 3D. You can adjust any variables that you want. So, opening maps, this is how you do it. As well, we will be stepping into this teleporter in just a second. Demo stands. This is a character that comes with this system, with this project. You can use it if you want to walk around and check the demo level. This is the example of a main room, because you have to put your player start somewhere, so this project comes with a main room that works around with all the other rooms and spawns all of the other rooms. Room examples! These are puzzles, these are boss rooms, these are enemy wave encounters. You can set everything up and they will just work. I will show you how to add them. Interactive stand. This is my favorite part, because if you step on this, you get to see in real time how this generation works. Just press reset and you get to see. Oh, that's a rare one. And again, boom, it creates random levels every single time. Um, Stepping on this will open the how-to document that will be also linked down below. Now let's move on to the demo room. This is how it looks like. Don't worry about the blue lights. These are the exact same generation lines that you saw just now. So let's hop back in. So the whole point of this demo room is you go through the levels and you look for a key and a door to go to the next level. Normally you'd put in here some items, some boss rooms, some enemy rooms, some enemies, you know. Oh, I died. Oopsie. So yeah, let's hop into content browser. Then all, content, game, maps, and demo. Checkout selected. Alright, so this is what the demo world starts as. It's just the main room as I explained. You need to put your player start somewhere. Now first things first, the way this actually works is with a game mode. Game mode called GM underscore roguelike, found under content game mode. GM underscore roguelike. If you don't know how to set up the game mode, you just hop into edit project settings. You open this. You get to see this. You go to maps and modes and you make sure that GM roguelike is selected. If it's not selected, let's say, I don't know, this one. When pressing play, you'll get nothing. Or in this case, game mode. Pressing play, you get a ball. So you do you. So let's set back to roguelike so that this generation actually works. Alright, so now that we've made sure that GM roguelike is set, I will delete this. I will delete you and you. We go to all, content, game, blueprints, and we find BP underscore main room. This is the main room, the one we will put our player start on so that the player can actually spawn somewhere. Let's put it in. I want to keep it at 0 on the Z axis because I feel triggered when it's not. We just put the player start. Make sure it's not clipping. Because if this happens, well, first of all, you get to see that it's a bad size. Second of all, the player will fall through. Okay, we press play. Everything works. How does that work? Alright, so all the magic, as I said, it happens in the game mode. We go here and we see a lot of code. If you haven't read the how-to document, then I will explain here. This is the reset bunch of code. It allows you to reset rooms. That's how I'm able to go to the next level. That's how I'm able to press R and reset rooms. I haven't shown you the R. Let me show you the R. As you can see here, I added some instructions. You can use WSD, but as well as the joystick of a controller. If you press R, you will be encountered with the "you died" screen because I'm resetting everything in the back right here. And as well, I consider reset as a way to unalive your character. Same thing as Binding of Isaac does. If you press R after playing the while playing the level, it will count towards your minus win streak. So if you have a win streak of 3, your win streak will go down to 2 because you pressed R, and so on. It goes into the negative. Another thing that you see on the screen right here are the options. This system comes with options that you're able to in real time change. So uh, right now the room cap is not a 9, it's just a random number that the options show. But after we've set, for example, to 16 rooms, um, if you wanna change the seed, you can press a random seed over here or set a seed of your own and a random difficulty. This is not the real difficulty, like we can press 2 or yeah, and it's going to generate something new. If you press another seed, it's going to generate other rooms and so on and so on. Plus level up, it changes the room cap to a bigger room cap, generate rooms and so on. um but yeah, to reset, this is what you need. This really just destroys all actors. It clears all the arrays. It sets mm, the variables to 0 or to a certain variable, checks if things are valid or not, and destroys them. Anyways, all of this red code is important. Destroying this red code will destroy the code. Unless you know what you're doing, I suggest you do not touch it and just leave it be. Next, we have all of these variables here. I arranged them nicely. Room cap is how many rooms you want to generate at start. So when we start playing, it's going to say 10. It's going to generate 10 rooms, not included the main room. So here you can change the value, or you can change the value in the options menu that I just showed. Wait, this is the dead zone wait. So if we, let's say, put what. All right. Now that I'm back, I had a problem over here. See, I was going to get over this in a bit, but I accidentally added an element over here that had no rooms in it. None. And it had a percentage spawn as well. So it kept creating empty rooms that, had nothing. Technically, they were there, but they had nothing, and they were added to the equation, which broke. Well, if it works, it doesn't. It's not technically broken. But let's delete this. Oh my lord. So let's simulate. As you can see, there are empty parts in this generation. This is to create corridor-like shapes rather than clumped up shapes. See, over here. So, this is what dead zones do. This is what dead zones are used for. So if we were to set this to 0 and set this to 0, compile, we can simulate, and we can see that everything is together. Everything is packed up together, which is not very dungeon-like, which is not very, nice. That's not nice. So if you go back and we set to 0.4 and 0.05, we can even increase this number to make even more corridor-like shapes. So if we were to say 0.8, that's going to be a big number. You'll see longer dungeons. Yep, actually I like this. If I were you, I would keep it at 0.8. Yep, so that's what it does. Let's stop the simulation. Alright, so this is the weight. This is what we want. Next, the F room percentage. This is a reference to a structure. This one gave me some problems just now because I forgot that I had an empty room over there. So, to add, first of all, we can see here the room classes. I have the lava room and I have the puzzle room. But Gabby, we also saw empty rooms. Well, that's the thing. None of these have a value of 1. The float goes between 0 and 1. Anything in between that is a chance. So take the 0.7 as 70% chance for it to spawn, and this is 0.8 as an 80% chance to spawn. In the case that both of these fail to spawn, there's always empty room there to save the day. You can set this to a room, or you can set this to a collection of rooms. For example, rooms that do not have enemies specifically, rooms that are just funny or look in a certain way, like the empty rooms in Isaac that simply exist. You can set it to that. It's something similar to how you set it to this. So to add more rooms to this mix, you just press over here, add element. Then you select your child blueprint class of the master room. All of these, they are children of the master room. This is how the game mode talks to the master room, which is their parent, and master room is able to send that information to all of its children. So we go to all content, game blueprints, and we find master room. This is master room. It doesn't have much. In viewport, this is what it looks like. So in the event graph, it has this code that simply is for camera and door code, but it has also an event dispatcher. So create a child blueprint class. We can call it pp underscore Stevell. His name is Stevell. We can add a cone. Let's add a cone. It's going to be a cone in the middle of the room. We can see this in action. Alright, so Stevell can go away. We go back to GM roguelike. We select Stevell. We set Stevell's spawn percentage to, let's say, 0.5. It has a 0.5 percentage to spawn. And yeah, it can show up at level 1. Over here, level related, you can set rooms to spawn at a certain level. So if you have harder rooms or more thought out puzzles that are supposed to hinder the player, anything else, you can set them to start spawning at a certain level. When you go to the next level, these rooms will start showing. When you go to the designated level, the player goes around the map, does your condition of leveling up, and then when they get to this level, these rooms will start showing up. So alright, if we press simulate, we might or might not see Stevell. Again, it's procedurally generated, it's random. We here see 2 Stevells. We see 1. So yeah, it shows that it works. Stevell has been added over here. Remember to, if you don't want Stevell anymore, remember to press on this little button over here and you can delete. Alright, so this is how you add rooms. Random stream is an initial seed that you want to play when the level starts. This is something similar to Binding of Isaac's daily run. You can set a certain seed to play. And if you're playing and you find an interesting seed as well, a winning seed, you can just hop and check the seed that you were given, and you can save it and you can give it to somebody. They put it in here, they get to play it. And current level. This is what the level starts at. Usually you want it at 0 or 1, depending on how you set up your logic additional to all of this. So if you want things to happen at level 1, you take this value, you take this variable, you tell it to do something. Alright. Alright, let me show you how doors work. So, as you saw me play, allow me to play selected viewport. I have doors that communicate. I died. I second my own game. So I have doors. These doors are done through an event dispatcher. As you can see here, it exists here, and the children can collected. So we have here get all doors, which just gets all doors that are here with the master room. So you're able to get all doors. And if you go to the children, look, Steve, I got a picture. And if you go to any of the children's room, you need to have this little piece of code in all of the children's room. Why didn't I do it in the master room? Simply for you to be able to put any clauses or conditions or anything for each room individually. Sadly means you have to gonna have copy paste these 4 pieces of code every single time. Um, Combined with from false, because this is just is the room completed, and the default value is false because when you enter a room it is not completed, you are yet to complete it, and it's usually set to false. We close doors. Closing doors will play an animation that will set it as if the doors are closed. So yeah, here you can see as well at the beginning of the games doors are closed. If we go back, then we have a condition for open doors. This obviously will open doors and will set completed to true. So now every single time you open a door, it will actually check if completed is true for that room in particular, for that room instance in particular, and will keep the doors open so you don't have to redo the same puzzle over and over again. So again, to summarize, you need to have these 4 pieces of code combined with closed doors. Then you can set any condition, anything, any puzzle to happen, any fight to happen, and at the end you just put open door. This will open the doors and will allow the player to teleport into whatever room they need to go to. Alright. Oh yeah, I have not shown you how to change the distance in between rooms. So if we hop into bp underscore main room, if we hop into bp underscore main room over here and we go to viewport, we will see this. We will see the little instructions and everything else. If we click on collision box, we can change the box extent. The code works based on a collision box's box extent. You can change which box is in charge of this. You can set anything here. Usually you would have it as big as the room so the player can spawn properly. And let's say we wanted to set it to 600 by 500 random numbers. And we press compile. Yes, we check it out. And we go to demo and we press simulate. You will be able to see that the rooms are now much further apart. So usually you would have it the size of your room. So let's just set it back. Oh no, this is not the setback I wanted. Alright, we set it back so it's nice and clumpy. If you know what you are doing with your camera, you're able to set the camera right onto the level itself so the players cannot see outside of it. Alright, so as you saw, there was a death animation. These are extras. So if we go to game and widgets, you will see these 3 additional blueprints. The transition widget plays 2 animations. So if we play demo, you will see this little fade in. This plays at whenever the level starts. Open level blueprint displays whenever the level starts, so it gives a little welcoming introduction that the game has started and you're able to move. And let's go back to the transition. It has a fade in animation that will be playing this. It has a little fade out that will be playing this. As you saw, you died, you'll be respawned and numbers. If you don't want it, all you have to do is go to GM Roguelike and delete and initialize first dot, delete these two. This will stop the the widget from rendering. It will no longer be there. As well, if you do not want the little fade in, just delete this piece of code in the level blueprint. Alright, if you want to change it, feel free to have fun and with the animations, find ways to make your own animations. This system is specifically for the dungeon, but these are extras that I provide for a better demo gameplay and for some inspiration maybe for your own sake. Now, as you saw, pressing tab allows you to set some options. This is done with the help of the HUD interface and the widget blueprint seed generator. For it to work in your own game, if you're making a different game mode, well, this game already has the HUD set as HUD underscore interface. If you want this maybe you want this specific options menu, well, you make sure that in your game mode HUD interface is selected, because HUD interface makes sure that that the seed generator exists. Now, if we go into the settings of the seed generator, this is how it looks like. It has a bunch of code that comes with it, all commented. Um, if you do not want it, you simply go to game mode and you deselect the HUD. This will literally make sure that this does not exist. So if we go here, press tab, nothing happens. We can as well. Now, if we press it back, let's go back to HUD interface. We can change as well how tab works. We go to game character BP Isaac. Isaac takes care of opening and closing the menu. If you want HUD to work in your character, because I'm assuming you will want to change this little spider. Also, the spider's name is Isaac as well. You will want this piece of code with you in your character, because whenever you're gonna have Isaac possessed, you'll just be able to press tab and you'll be able to see. Now, the reset button works as well in the same way. If you press gamepad special left or R, you get to reset the game. This will set a new seed. This will set everything random again. If you want to change buttons, feel free to have fun and look at how all of this works and do your own little shenanigans, you creative minds. Alright, the last piece of additional code that this system provides is a key in the door. This is a way to stop to finish the level and go to the next level because you need some condition over there. You can delete or change this to whatever condition you would like. That being said, keep in mind this is a personal project, this is a hobby, this is a student work. Not everything may be perfect, but whatever I'm showing works. And you go and have fun changing variables, changing rooms, changing anything. Look, I found a door. You need to find a key. You just keep going and find a key. So feel free to message me for any problems, for any questions, and feel free to as well change code up to your own discretion, because if you change code that is there in the red, then you have been warned that it may break. As well, be careful when changing dead zones. Some of the code in that yellow part is actually pretty useful and it may break the game. I would suggest that if you want to remove dead zones, just set it to 0 and then go and test out the code as well. I would say that you don't necessarily need to reset the game to set the game mode to something specific to this specific game mode. I believe that with some that you could also change it to work on main menu on main room. It's set to game mode because I wanted this to work across multiple levels. That's why it's set to game mode. But if you have only one level, that is it. You only need one actor to happen in the world and you will have everything. Where is that key? This can also work with 3D objects. You just need to set the right box. That being said, thanks for watching, and again, if you have any questions, feel free to message me. And good luck with your little creative project.